All right, people. I'm going to try to enlighten you to what foot pain is, where it comes from, how you can fix it for yourself, and what is sometimes necessary to make it all come together. Now, one of the issues that Vans is terrible for is trying to sell you a boot that when you put it on your foot in the store, it feels great. It feels like man, I could walk around in these boots all day. Well, you're not walking around in boots, you're riding snowboards in boots. So a boot that is going to fit ultra comfortably probably won't translate to a boot that is effective to ride snowboards in. Now, I've been over the infused boots before, and I'm just going to go over some liners and some things that I have learned along the way. And you got to understand, you don't have to understand, but I've been riding snowboards for since 84, 85, and I've not just been riding snowboards. Like, I ride snowboards. That being said, let's talk about the first thing I'm going to talk about is the idea of strapping in too tight, collapsing your arch is what it's trying to do. Your foot's creating pain because it's trying to do one of these two things, and both of those things have the same end goal, and that is to make the boot feel secure on your foot, like you're not swimming around in your foot. And if your boot is too big for your foot, then you try to use your straps to crush all that material out, and then you end up crushing your feet to the board. Both outcomes are terrible. Vans, come on, it's horseshit. This is designed solely to make your foot comfortable, but does not provide any support inside the boot. I'm also going to talk about these donuts, how they function, why these are in there, and really the appropriate way of trying to use those things. And all of this stuff, like, it ain't for everybody. This stuff makes a huge difference. Makes a huge difference. So, that being said, this liner, these Vans liners, will be comfortable in the store. They will do nothing for you in terms of actual riding situation, and they will aid in your foot pain. When I first got the Vans boot, I went to this power wrap, and I heat molded these sons of bitches a couple of times. And what's nice about these things is, again, that's real material right there. That is something. And this particular power wraps have this double tongue situation. And if you're old like I am, you'll remember the early Burton Freestyle boots had a Dale boot liner that was a double wrap like this, that was farmed away from a snowboard or a ski boot that Burton used. And I loved those liners. They were rad. And what this does is it dissipates any kind of pressure from your strap, and it creates a lot of this, right? A lot of resistance in terms of forward lean. The problem that I found with these is, one, I got them too small, and intuition told me over the phone in several conversations is that when you put this liner inside your boot, you want that to not be so much that it would collapse, like it's pushing against it. But I'm telling you that when I got these against this, these were the same length in the store, and this material, I don't give a shit what intuition will tell you. This material shrinks slightly when you heat it. I mean, it'll stretch, I suppose, where it's supposed to, but it shrinks more than it does anything else. And myself, while I like the flex, I was just cranking, trying to get my ankle strap to really bite and hold my heel in there, and I couldn't get it to get I couldn't get this inside the Vans shell with the boa and the strap to hold my ankle into the pocket, and I would get what happens if you can't get your ankle secured here, then if you're on a heel side, if your foot is able to slide forward at all, you get toe bang. So inside your boot, on your heels, your foot will slide forward and smash the end of your boots. I'd blacken my toes on both feet trying to accommodate these things. I went down to the ski store and heated them, maybe 3 times, trying to get it to work out, and it's just, they're too small and there's just too much material, and I couldn't get it done. Power wraps didn't work. This wasn't going to work, and so I went on the hunt and I found these. Now, this is the same kind of material as this. It's like a stiff, it's not quite as thick, it's not as much material as the Power Wrap, but it's the same heat shrink kind of deal. It's from a boot company. I think they're out of Canada, Deluxe, and I think Travis Rice is going to start riding for them this year. But this has got, you get it in there, it's got some, by itself, without the shell of the boot, it's got its own structure, right? You need that. And this, again, when we're looking at the profiles, this is the appropriate amount of material and the same, effectively the same shape as a liner that's found in my Vans boots. Which of these? Or those. So, well, good. And I found these cheap on eBay, and I was stoked to find them. And they've been working great. So, great for walking around, never gonna work. Now, the other reason having some firm material like that is that when you lean on toe side edge, heel side it doesn't make a huge difference, but when you're on toe side edge, when you can apply pressure in your upper shin here that's translating to your edge that's here, from here to here, that's pressure that you want, and that will vary all the way down to your ankle. But if you haven't got any structure, then your angle point to the edge is always going to be coming straight from your ankle, and that angle of pressure delivery to your edge takes more energy. If you can deliver pressure to edge from here, it's less energy and you get better bite. So you're trying to find what works the best for you in terms of that, in terms of where your pressure is coming from your shin translated to the edge of your board that would be here. But you don't want it down here, and you can't get it with this. Like, see, just the structure of this material, it's stopping midsole of your foot. So, and don't get me wrong, I mean, Vans boots, like this, all this huge toe, and this is like, that fucking shit it does flex a little bit, but it's different than most boots. On the liners now, and having a stiffer liner, believe it or not, helps with foot pain, because when you're flexing the boot this way, you want all of this pressure to translate to your edge, and if that's not doing it, your boot is collapsing down here, then again you're going to start trying to create volume with your foot by squishing up your foot and raising your arch to build more pressure in the boot to get better pressure onto the toe. Or on the heel, for that matter. When you're on a heel side edge, you're going like this, and your foot's rattling forward in your boot. Again, you're going to be flexing your foot like this to accommodate, absorb that pressure. And from that point, again, firm material, the soft stuff doesn't work. The reason the soft stuff doesn't work is that it packs out. Now, not packs out, but it's the forces that are associated with riding snowboards on edges and stuff like that, they overcome this soft, squishy stuff. And you don't want that, because as soon as you get all this material, this padding stuff, your foot will just rattle around in there. That's not really creating any support, it's just creating comfort. What you want is support. And it seems like it's not that it needs to be uncomfortable, but you need to have what they call board feel. I mean, shit. Vans, the whole reason they have this massive comfort thing and this slope down to something this is designed to have board feel. You want to feel the board. They understand that. And you don't need a lot of board feel in your heels. But when you have this much squish here, and then you have this much squish here, and then you have squish from the EVA on your bindings, I mean, it's like you're getting so much squish that, again, you're not getting board feel, and your foot is trying to sense what's happening on the snow. If you have too much material and too much squish between what you're trying to sense and your foot, your foot is going to overwork itself trying to get the feel that it's looking for. So the thing about these Vans boots and a lot of modern boots, this toe cap, that is just so much stiff material that I have like kind of my feet are kind of long and skinny, you know, like I haven't got big gnarled feet. If I had big gnarled feet, I could just use this boot the way it is, but because my feet are kind of skinny, and along with this, my foot was just kind of swimming around in there. And it's kind of nice having a little toe, a little material in the toe. Everybody's the way they fit boots. Everybody in the shop will, oh yeah, you want to put your foot and it's going to feel a little small and then they're going to pack out and that's all great. Yeah, that's all great. But what I'm here to tell you is they make wide boards, and a little toe area, a little dead air space, a little warmth, not cutting off your circulation, makes a huge difference. And so again, because my foot is kind of skinny and these are the shells that I'm using, what you want to do is you want to remove some of the volume inside the boot. And how do you do that? Well, you don't want to do that using more bullshit squishy stuff. What you want to do is you want to find this stuff right here is fucking magic. What is this stuff? I don't remember that company, but this material right here is like the shock material, and it is fucking stiff as hell. All right, so trying to create volume inside your foot. When you do it, you want to use material like this that is not, I mean, this stuff right here, this is out of a Vans shoe, I don't remember what, but it's just a little soft. It's not bad, and it won't, by the time it's all squished out, and it doesn't stay squished, right? It's always rebounding. That will work acceptably, but this stuff right here, that is like, and you can get this in different thicknesses, and if I remember right, I think this is 3 mils or 4 mils. But you take these things and you stick them right in the bottom of your boot, not inside your liner, in the base of the boot, right? And what that does is that absorbs just an entire layer of volume, and it makes all the difference in the world, because my foot now is not being long and kind of skinny. It is now fitting in the boot. You know, you're trying to look for that Lego feeling, like your foot fits in there and it's secure all the way around. I couldn't get that done without putting that in the bottom.